Yeah.
All right, you guys both feel good about this?
No, but let's do it.
Oh, well, that's all. That's all we needed.
I don't just feel good. I feel good enough.
We've
It's
got
the
delusions
neutrals.
of mediocrity.
Hi everyone, this is Lazyfire, and welcome to the Hate the Player podcast. I am joined, as always, by Arnold,
No.
and Three Toes is here as well.
Hi.
Which is it's good I didn't go with my initial introduction because I had a really elaborate one that I don't think I can pull off yet, all set and to go. So we're here once again to talk about video games and the people who play them and why we hate them so much. But first, last week we started off with Arnold. This week, Three Toes, what have you been playing?
I actually tried to fire back up Trouble in Terrace last night with Arnold, and number one, it does not run well on a Mac. I crashed about 4 or 5 times. Not just a Mac, MacBook. So that's probably part of my problem.
Get the air.
Yeah, no, it's not an Air.
Oh.
It's the big MacBook. But number two, I guess that was a try-hard server, Arnold, or at least is supposed to be.
Yeah, they're pretty serious with the rules and all that, which I mean, I think makes for a better game because most of the TTT servers are like, oh, hey, I own the server. If you kill me, I'm going to permaban you.
It's Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like those kids would not shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like-
chat spam is a little bit of a problem
Yeah.
on that server.
Mainly because I think you and I were the only people over the age of 13.
Ooh.
There are actually a fair amount of people around our age that play. I don't know if it was a weekend. So,
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
get off my damn lawn.
If kids are on the weekend, when do adults play games?
Whenever our kids are sleeping.
Okay. But what if you don't have kids? I have not figured out how to play games in the last 2 weeks. So,
It's
Well,
usually when
then
I come home
you
from
need
the
to quit
bar.
spending time on your career.
oh god, it's not even my career.
What are you, a loser?
Yeah, I'm one of those losers with a job and a house and shit. One of those.
Yeah.
Man, this is kind of digressing off your topic here. But not too long ago, I had a guy yell at me in a game because I was 27 years old and I had a fiance and I don't have any kids. I'm like, man, this guy is really angry
Did he-
over the fact that I don't have children. What
Was he trying to like throw the whole like the Lord said to be fruitful thing at you?
No, I think he was just trying to find, like, he started off with, you live in your mother's basement, and blah, 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 and I'm like, no, actually, it's kind of that moment where you're trying not to insult this person, you're just stating something, it's like, I sleep in a race car bed. Where do you sleep? In a big bed with my fiance. And, and this guy, instead of, like, looking dour or, apologizing for being wrong, just started like, you don't got no kids, what's wrong with you? And, what the?
What's the matter, man? Your nut can't swim, huh?
Yeah.
You infertile, bro?
I got this thing for you I found on this website. Oh,
You
God.
need to go see your urologist, bro.
Yeah.
You got problems.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, sorry for the derail there. But,
Oh
so,
no, they'll look for any outlet they can to try and talk shit on you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
it's their job.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, I got to be in
Where
Miss
would we be
McMillan's.
without puppies, though?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It should be stated that a puppy is someone who's playing on whatever server you may be playing on, whatever game. Someone that's not you or your immediate group of
Yeah.
people who are not terrible at
Anyone who
the
isn't
game.
you.
Anyone who's not you or the people you regularly play with are
Yes.
puppies.
And remember,
And puppies are, I mean,
yeah.
they're the lowest form of life.
And just remember that they're not even good when they kill you. They're not even good.
Oh no, they're not.
Nope.
You're not even that good.
Nope.
No.
In
Not at
the words of one of our friends now disappeared.
Friends.
They aren't that good.
Further into the basement. It's like the Binding with Isaac down there.
Should we talk about Carmen? I don't.
What's he gonna do?
Well, we can get to it.
Yeah, I mean, let's wait for Battlefield 4 and everyone yelling at him to get out of games before we start that up.
Yeah,
The beta's coming
definitely.
soon.
What kind of dental work is he going to have to get done in order to get Battlefield 4?
Oh God! All right, I really think that's a story worth telling.
A grill. He's gonna have to get a grill. All right.
By
so,
all means, tell it.
You know what? Let's divert from video game chat for a moment and tell the Ballad of Carmine here. So, Carmine was this guy. I think my first encounter with him was in the era of Black Ops 1 with the Xbox 360 guys, and he wasn't a goon at the time, and he was like a puppy who was kind of decent at the game, and he wasn't terrible, so we kind of adopted him. And
He was a hang around,
Yeah,
as biker gangs would call him.
Yeah, he wasn't the first or last of the puppies we adopted. And over time, he kind of went into other games, and he had this really messed up life that maybe he doesn't see as messed up. I don't know, but he went from kind of like game to game, but he would always tell personal stories, and they were like the most depressing stories in the history of the world. It was just, what was he, like 27, 28, and he lived at home with his dad. And no, he's older than that.
If it was
I
just
think.
that, that'd be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens. I mean, everybody has a bad run,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I mean, not everybody, but I mean, there are people that get unlucky. But go on. Sorry to interrupt.
No. You can jump in at any time. I can't always tell the story perfectly, but
No. You know him better. You've known him, or
Yeah.
you knew him longer than I did. So.
I played with him up until Modern Warfare. No, sorry, Black Ops 2. He played that for a while, but he didn't have a job. He didn't really go out very often, but he always had games, and so he jumped into Battlefield 3 for a while with people that we played with, and he was promptly banned from pretty much any goon server. That's apparently to this day, the second that someone buys a server for the goons, the first thing they do is they put him on the ban list. But I haven't seen him in like almost a year.
Yeah. If you check any servers, you'll see on the ban list.
He's just
first
auto
one is
blacklisted?
Carmine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every server they start. So
Bless his heart.
yeah, but the thing is that like I believe this is kind of backtracking on previous statements in the thread. I believe in the end of the day he's a good guy. He's got good intentions. He just doesn't have a filter that would allow us to not make fun of him. Like if any of us went into everything that happened and started explaining like the most embarrassing points in our lives, we still wouldn't get close to what he describes every time we play with him. So the reason that we can say this is because during the Modern Warfare 3 era, Battlefield 3 era, he was online a lot talking about how he needed to get dentures. And, his teeth were really bad and he needed dentures, and his dad was willing to pay for it. But he didn't want to get dentures. So his dad had to offer him Dead Island before he would agree to let his dad pay for his dentures.
You can't make this shit up. I mean, it'd be one thing to make fun of somebody that's he fell on hard times, whatever. That's a totally different thing. But this is a guy, a grown-ass man, living in his parents' basement. Now, any one of these things by themselves may be okay. But living with his parents, in his parents' basement, is getting offers of free dental work, but won't get it unless his dad gets him a video game.
Yeah. And that's just how it is. And, he had some other really sad encounters. Like, there was a time we were playing a game and he started yelling at his dad about which type of iPad to get. And it was because his iPhone didn't really want to browse the forums. It's like, so he wanted his dad to get him an iPad for Christmas so he could browse the Something Awful forums because somebody bought him an account. And
I mean, pretty much everything the guy ever said could be recorded on goon.mp3 or goon.txt.
yeah, it's kind of amazing. But he got that iPad and was promptly probated, like almost immediately. Because his first thing, he came into the Black Ops 2 thread, and he's like, "Why you guys?" The thing with him was that we didn't really want to play with him because he did this thing where he would start talking to one of us about things he wanted to talk about. So he'd be running down, a corridor or something like, "Bro, man, you know what I think they should have in the next Call of Duty game?" "No, what?" And do that whole thing. Or, "Bro, man, what do you think about C4 in this game?"
Yeah.
2 words in, and then the next thing you know, it is an entire diatribe about what he thinks about C4.
My first experience with him was in Battlefield 3. I had just started playing, and I hadn't played a Battlefield since Battlefield Desert Combat.
Oof.
And yeah, I know.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I
really.
played 2. The Black
I didn't play 2 or Desert Combat, any of that. 2 or Bad Company 2. Anyways, so I get in a chopper with him, and I hadn't really rode around in a chopper, and he's flying low to the ground. I'm like, "Oh, holy crap, you're really good." And that was the high point of my Carmine experience. It was all downhill from there. I almost feel bad because
You should.
He's just.
You should.
Carmine.
You should feel horrible.
He's Carmine.
Well, the thing
It's
is,
just
he
what
would
it
get
is.
upset, and anyone who killed him, didn't matter if it was legitimate or if they came up behind him or they just straight up beat him. After being killed by the same person for a little while, he'd start yelling in the mic, "He's not that good!"
Yeah, he would constantly complain that the people who killed him over and over again, quote, weren't even that good.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah they are.
He would be laying prone on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and number 2, and it's a hard lesson to learn, and I don't always abide by it too. But don't go for the revenge kill. Like, I guarantee he was probably just running the same route every time, trying to get this guy killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who just had a great angle on him and just got him every time. Like, don't go for the revenge kill, kids.
Yep.
The more you know.
The lesson of the day.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. And
That's
what I've forgotten about it.
why you become an admin and just kick them,
That's right.
or just constantly team switch them.
Yes, yeah. That's one of my favorite things to do as an admin is just find people who keep team switching and then team switch them back and forth until they quit. That's a good way to do things.
Keep them in the best thing on console is they can't access the menu while you're doing that, so they actually have to shut off their console.
Oh yeah, they can't. Yeah, they can't quit out
Yep.
while.
We called it pubatory.
So yeah,
Those were the days.
I actually got a message earlier this week, and I posted it in the Battlefield 3 thread. It's something awful. That was a guy yelling at me for being a pussy admin for kicking him and his team of level 100 grenade spammers because they were sitting in one room guarding an MCOM and just tossing grenades. It was just, you couldn't get near the door because grenades were flying out every quarter of a second. So there was constantly explosions there. You couldn't do anything about it. And so here's the funny thing. I wasn't the one who kicked them. It was, I think Nick. And so the server owner kicked them, and I get the abuse. And that's all I need.
Nico doesn't like getting killed, definitely.
That was the thing. They didn't kill anyone. We saw they got set up in that room to defend it, and they just kept throwing grenades, from the start of the game. So everyone just stayed back and were like, okay, well, this is not fun. Let's actually have a fun game. So kick them, switch people over to the right teams, and got things going. And pretty much as soon as those guys were gone, we knew it was them that were causing this issue because I ran in there and I gunned down everyone in the room and then 2 guys across the street. It was okay, it was clearly those level 100 sitting on ammo crates.
Yep.
But that's...
So what's even sadder is don't grenades take a while to fill back up? Wouldn't they have to have
Not
some
if you're
kind of.
support. I think there's still a glitch in the game where support people get grenades a little faster.
If you have 4 people that are standing on top of 2 ammo packs, yeah, it'll fill up pretty quickly.
Well, that's what. Well, what I'm saying is that what's even sadder is that they had to kind of coordinate it to like, okay, now you throw. Okay, now you throw. They had to figure out exactly the right timing to get an infinite stream of grenades.
Yeah, and that was what you and I were talking about earlier on, Three Toes. It was the stupid min-maxing things that people do in these games, where they find the best weapons possible, and that's all they use. And then they, this is overpowered with this perk setup, in this class, and this thing, and blah, blah, blah. And that's all they ever use. It's not fun to play against them. It's probably not fun to be on their team.
Hey, bro, you got to be MLG.
Yeah, it's that stuff. It drives
See, that's
me
why I
absolutely
look for the
nuts.
worst weapon. Like
Yeah.
that's the only way I have any fun with Battlefield 3 anymore. I'm back to using the damn night vision scope because it's horrible. And I really want to induce raids in some kids who are like, why would you even use the night vision? It's not even that good anymore.
Yeah. Well, I just it's like oh, go ahead, Arnold.
Oh no, I mean I've switched to PC now, and I have nothing unlocked, and I just got the hollow sight, which is the sight I use on all my guns on the 416, and it's like the heavens parted. And yeah, because honestly, I guess I'm terrible if I'm not using a hollow sight, just because I've spent X hundred hours using it.
Oh, that's what I usually like if I'm actually tryharding. Yeah, the hollow is pretty much the only sight I'll use.
I always try hard. I can't help it.
God, we know.
Arnold's the min-maxer we were talking about.
But
I
it's,
am
yeah,
that which I hate. I am that which I hate.
I don't see how getting a game down to a science is fun. Like I don't know. I hate the formulaic approach to people playing games.
My thought process with it isn't so much that it's what I'm comfortable using, and I'll only try to use it. Now, if I'm playing on 360, I'll use a whole bunch of different things.
Right.
But right now, oh god, getting back into like mouse keyboard aiming, which that hasn't been that bad, but not having the right sights, not having the vehicle unlocks. I mean, it's hard getting back into it.
Oh, well, you could always have pre-ordered Battlefield 4 and got the vehicle unlocks immediately.
Oh man, yeah.
Think about that.
Ooh.
Battlefield 4 actually looks good enough to pre-order.
Have I told you I
It
still
really
don't have
does,
rocket
actually.
bots for the jets yet?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen anything that I'm like, oh god, this looks terrible. I mean, it looks kind of like Battlefield 3.5, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
God, go into the Battlefield 4 subreddit. Everything is the worst thing. Battlefield 3 was terrible. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was the greatest game ever, which is kind of weird because when Battlefield Bad Company 2 was out and Battlefield 3 was coming out, everyone was talking about how bad Battlefield Bad Company 2 was.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
that's the dilemma of video games.
yeah, it's always rose-tinted glasses looking at the previous iteration.
Right.
Always.
Right. It's a thing with the Call of Duty franchise where it's like the game last year was the best game in the series. The game that's out now is the worst game in the series. The game coming out next year is going to be the best game in the series. And then a year later, you just keep repeating that until
I don't
Call
know.
of Duty
Modern Warfare
finally
3 was
ends.
pretty bad.
God. I went
The
back and
multiplayer that had some of the worst maps in the series. The gunplay was just, I hated everything about it.
Yeah,
I mean, if you compare it to Modern Warfare 2,
yeah, well, not a lot of things compare to Modern Warfare 2 now. Like, at the time, that was not a super fun game because some of the bullshit in it, but
that's why it was fun for me.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
actually,
I will say though that Bad Company 2 and Battlefield, or the Bad Company series itself, is like a completely different experience from like Battlefield proper.
right.
Like it is a much more arcadey type of shooter. And I mean, in some ways that was really really fun, and I still enjoy it. Like I'll fire it up every once in a while just on a whim, but I don't know. I don't think either one's worse than the other. They're just completely different.
Yeah, and it's
I'm sorry, they have to be the best or the worst. I'm gonna need you to get
yeah.
out.
Pick one. Come on, you know better. Yeah, that's just the way it is. I think it's the same thing where people talk about the Call of Duty series, where like the Modern Warfare and now Ghost series versus the Black Ops series that Treyarch does, and how they have the same kind of structure, but they're basically different games at their core, which is actually not accurate. They're very different games superficially. Let's say it that way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Treyarch does their thing one way, and the Modern Warfare series is a little different. So people make that same argument there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually had to go back, or got to go back, let's put it that way, and play some Modern Warfare 3 last weekend.
Are you sure "got to" would be the word to use?
Well, I'm saying it nice because it was for the Let's Play Modern Warfare 3 thread in the Let's Play subforum. And I had guested on one of the videos for the Spec Ops missions in that. Because I'm the other big name in Call of Duty on the Let's Play forums, which is kind of a sad title.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, me and this other guy. And
I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing for you.
Okay, thanks. And his co-commentator for the series, and he had also done Modern Warfare 2. His co-commentator wasn't available, so he's like, hey, you want to jump in and do this? So he and I did a couple of Spec Ops missions and kind of called it. And so when multiplayer night came around for that thing, I played like 4 hours of Modern Warfare 3, which is about as many hours as I played when it came out. So it's an experience. But actually what happened, the more interesting experience was the night before that, I had actually misread the dates, and my watch had been fast a day for an entire month, which I didn't find out until that day. And I got on and I played a couple warm-up matches, and my team got Moabbed, which is to say that... Oh, let me say it this way. They got 4 Moabs against my team, and to get a Moab, you have to have 24 gun kills in a row without dying. So... yeah, it was bad. Like, and this goes back to that min-max discussion, actually, because it was... These guys, like, sat in these very specific spots, would not let my team leave the spawn that we'd been locked into, wouldn't go far enough to push us out of it, and just sat there and farmed kills, hit the right control pad button, call in your Moab, then do it 3 more times. Like,
you're probably a part of
somebody's
somebody's montage.
Not fun to be on that team.
You were probably a part of someone's
montage.
What was that, Three Toes?
I said you're probably a part of their montage now, somewhere on YouTube.
Finally be part of a montage.
You made it, baby.
Yes. Finally, just fulfilling
baby?
all my dreams, being part of montages. So,
Yes.
That was an
you
experience. I'm glad to be as far away from Modern Warfare 3 as humanly possible now. That was terrible. Like, even if I did well on almost every game we played that night, I still hated it. Like, every minute. So, that's my Modern Warfare 3 story. We actually never finished the discussion of what people are playing. Arnold, what have you been up to?
I've been going back through Fallout New Vegas since I'm part of the Master Race again. When I say Master Race, I don't mean Aryan, I mean PC gaming.
Where's Drekkins when we need him?
Yeah.
God.
We love you, Drekkins.
And the mods for Fallout New Vegas are fantastic. There's not really much else to say about them. It adds so much to the game, like 300 new guns, 100 new pieces of armor that are added to the level list, which means that enemies will spawn with them. They aren't just hidden in a closet somewhere, like your mom.
Be honest. You modded in nudity, didn't you?
No, not intentionally actually, because for some of the armor you have to use one of the body types, and there's this play. Okay, all right, let's go to the beginning. For Fallout New Vegas, all the mods are generally housed at this place called Nexus, and Nexus is
shithole.
Yeah, well, it's 10% shithole. Well, no, like 20% shithole, 80% creepy, with a splash of like just weird.
Yeah, how many dick nipple mods you got?
Yeah, like we're talking like girlfriend mods, panty mods.
Pedophile
Uh,
mods.
So they're basically trying to
yeah,
turn the game into Second Life.
the
well, but
the
a
goal
little
of every game.
weirder. Like
Oh,
you can actually
you
have
cannot get
male
weirder
models
than Second Life.
be at attention if you know what I mean.
Oh, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah,
basically trawling through Nexus trying to find mods.
right,
What did
right.
you actually
Mods
use?
that don't involve erect peni or
Yeah.
peni or whatever the plural is.
Dicks.
Dicks.
Yeah, dicks. Dicks.
So what are you
So-
using to find these mods?
Actually, something awful has been pretty great because in the original post on the Fallout New Vegas modding thread, it, it lists out like basically every mod worth having,
Oh.
and some of them are goon made because some goons are actually really awesome.
Some goons a rope kid.
Yeah. But really, going back to the mods, I mean, I have a little underground bunker modded in that automatically sorts all my stuff. I have, like I said, a million new guns, pieces of armor, new quests, shaders to make the game look better because my PC's freaking dope.
Yeah.
And
I know how that
So-
goes.
I mean, it's been great.
Good.
I mean, because I spent probably 70 hours on 360, and going through it with, I mean, there are mods that make it more shootery, because you can tell it's clearly made by people who made Skyrim and all that. It's not very, no dynamic reticle, no quick grenade throw, but all that stuff is modded in. The sprint key, I mean, it's a lot of convenient stuff that makes it just a way better game.
Right. So
So that's what I've been doing.
Oh, so that's what you've been doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Three Toes, you've done anything besides Trouble in Terrorist Town then?
No, I pretty much spent the entire weekend watching college football. So,
Oh man, Razorbacks?
God, I'm the fucking jock of this podcast, aren't I?
No, well I cut the cable, so I was watching the Packers game through ESPN Gamecast, which is basically looks like electronic football. So I don't know if that's
Dude, I got to tell you, man, if you have any interest in like watching college sports, I'm sure it works pretty well for professionals as well. But the ESPN app for the 360 is amazing.
yeah.
Like it's awesome. Like you can pull up the score ticker anytime you want. You can get all the games, and again, this is college mainly. Get games that aren't covered by TV if they're on like ESPN3, which is like their online streaming. You can get it through your Xbox where you don't have to try and pull it up on your laptop, and you can go into any game you want that's not blacked out because of coverage and pull up different scores. And it's like if your teams play, if you're a fan of like a nationally recognized team and they're playing some piss poor FCS team that weekend and there's no TV coverage, but they're streaming it on the internet. You can just pull it right up through your 360.
Can I get the Yukon Huskies?
Probably.
No one wants to see the Huskies. God damn, don't you know anything? I went there for 4 years. I went to Yukon, and that was like that right in the middle of them becoming a huge football school. Like they had built the new stadium, and they had the training facility on site, and all this other stuff. They go to the Motor City Bowl, they win that, and then Dan Orlovsky goes to the NFL, who was the quarterback for the team that year. And I actually met him once, and I can tell that story at a later date because it takes a while, and it also involves Rudy Gay. But he went to go play for the Detroit Lions, and he stepped out of the end zone on like his first play, and it's like that's
Oh
UConn
God, I
football right
remember
there.
that.
Dan Orlovsky, just Dan Orlovsky in the NFL. That's all it was.
Frat boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should just stick to basketball at UConn.
It'd be cool if they tried that instead of what they keep trying to do, which is be a football school. They actually lost their first game against one of those teams that you play against so you can win.
Like this year, this season?
Yeah, just like last week.
Yeah, like a lot of people got upset by FCS teams in the first week. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
North Carolina State last night almost lost to the Richmond Spiders, which sounds like a fucking little league team. And it to their credit, like they do, yeah, they're
Playing the
Richmond
Bad News
Spiders.
Bears.
Yeah. I mean, to their credit, they usually field a good team for their division and whatnot. But yeah, NC State didn't get the lead until like late in the fourth quarter and barely won.
Yeah, I mean that happens every year where it's a couple teams first week can't really handle what they have, and it's just what it is. I really wish my state didn't put so much money into UConn football because it's obviously a lost cause.
Well, I mean, and that's the whole reason they do it, because if you do it, even somewhat successfully, it's a huge return. Like I went to Clemson. I'm a Clemson grad, and like that's the biggest moneymaker for the university is the football program.
Foosball.
It brings so much money into. I mean, God, I was there for week 1 with game day against Georgia, and there were easily 200,000 people in Clemson that weekend, and the stadium only holds like 80.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine went to a UConn football game freshman year, so that was the year we went to the Motor City Bowl, and we were playing like Virginia Tech or some like big name school, and he was in the student section close enough where he could be right on the opposing team's sideline, and he was yelling at a guy. He's like, "Hey, number 21, number 21." The guy turns around because he actually heard the guy yelling at him, and all my friend can say is, "Have a good game." What's he gonna do? Jump up into the stadium and punch you in the head? Like, not gonna happen.
Now that Virginia Tech player is going to go back, it's like, man, UConn's got some great fans. They wishing me a good game. Like
the soccer teams that play against us probably aren't gonna say that, because I was in the student section for a soccer game. They charge like $5, so everyone goes. Our soccer program is actually amazing, and we're playing the Gamecocks, right? And so whenever the goalie has a free throw, or a throw, everyone in the student section starts yelling, "You suck," right? Well, with the Gamecocks there, they yelled, "You suck cock," every time for an hour. And this guy got so upset that he threw a water bottle at us. And he was promptly ejected from the game, and we were told not to do that anymore. So, UConn sports.
Life lesson, kids: don't tell people they suck cocks.
Dude, if you want to see some great like fans being incredibly obscene towards the other team, go on YouTube and look up like West Virginia football fans. Like they kind of take the cake.
Yeah, it's all they got.
Like pretty much.
It's like,
sorry for the sports chat, but yeah.
Well, we got to hate all sorts of players.
We like sports, and we don't care who knows.
Yeah. So while we're on the subject of teams, and this is a shitty ass segue, by the way. I was telling you about this one, Three Toes, but somebody sent me a message to join their network. Their YouTube network, I should say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this guy it's the Viso network. If you have not heard of that, don't worry. They are the number 4 network on YouTube. And they promptly tell you that when you go to look at the message. Like, that's almost the first thing he said to me. But this is the thing we were talking about was more or less that this stuff looks like fucking spam from like a mile away.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't look at this and go, "Oh yes, clearly this person has."
That's a legitimate business.
Yeah, it's a legitimate business. This guy with no videos, and he's clearly going to be able to help me get into the 4th largest YouTube network on YouTube, which features such luminaries as Seth Bling and people I have never heard of. Fantastic.
F-list celebrities.
Big name YouTube celebrities, of course.
Oh god.
And I can't find my fucking YouTube inbox to save my life, so I can't really read this to you at the moment. But yeah, it's just one of those weird things that comes with having. If you get like enough views, that's exactly what happens. People start seeing this, and they're like, clearly, this person wants to deal with me and join my network and all this other stuff. Because at this point with YouTube, it's just everyone. There's this perception that you can make all the money you ever want to off of YouTube. Like
it's the new 49ers. The 49ers in the future are going to be called the YouTubers.
Oh my god.
Internet Gold Rush. No, but that used
the
to be
Wings of Redemption. That'll be one of the
God.
teams, and but this thing is weird. His name is Blaine, and he is a recruiter for the Viso network. He's interested in working to help me grow my channel and revenue through Viso. Now, the
Is
thing
that
to
a
know about my
metaphor?
channel is that it's not monetized, so you can't really like double my revenue or offer anything like that. So you have to say increase. It's the fourth largest network of digital producers currently operating within YouTube, reaching close to 1 billion monthly views. I looked at this guy's channel. He has no videos at all. I got another offer from another network not too long ago where they told me that they could promise me 300 views per video. And I'm like,
Ooh.
I already get that? Just, it's...
So who are the other three? Like I gotta imagine Machinima's probably the top.
Machinima's the top, but Machinima's weird because they also claim that all Let's Play videos are actually Machinima. So I don't know how they work outside of that, but yeah, they're the top. I think Game Station, which does Yogscast and Total Biscuit and stuff, they're 2. And I know
know
who the third
IGN
is.
got in on that bandwagon recently. They might be number 3.
Oh,
Because I think fucking Woody's Gamertag signed with IGN, like over Machinima.
oh, yeah, that's right. IGN has
Man,
people now.
I'm out of the YouTube scene.
Well,
It's a fucking train wreck. You need to get into it.
yeah, you got to watch it just for like how messed up it is, because it's impressively messed up at times. Just
Yeah.
like the number of people that are operating in this whole thing, and how much money they believe they're entitled to for just shitting out videos, is absolutely amazing. Because like the big thing about being a YouTube Let's Player and just doing it for YouTube is that you probably don't even have to be very good. As a matter of fact, being good may actually be a detriment to your ability to get subscribers and views.
Yeah. If you've got a good personality, you can be fucking terrible at a video game and get millions upon millions of views.
So it really is about, well, let's not say you have to have a good personality, because I direct you to Exhibit A, PewDiePie, rape,
Worth mentioning,
Rape.
Arnold, you'd probably like to know this.
rape.
PewDiePie is now not only the most viewed, but the most subscribed person on YouTube. Ever.
Oh, rape.
Ever.
That's rape. That's really rape news.
How rape of you? But no, like going back to that message you got, like that was very, very common in the MySpace days.
Yeah.
Because so those who don't know, like I'm a musician, and MySpace was actually great for original musicians or musicians in general, because you could just sign up for an artist page and instantly have your music available for anyone to listen to. It was great trying to get shows around town. If you're like a live musician, you can just give your link to a bar and be like, here, go listen to my stuff. Or if they had a computer right there, I'll pull it up here right now. You can take a listen to it. But I would constantly get messages from just these random people, always claiming to be like producers or talent scouts or A&R reps, to where, oh yeah, you should totally sign, with me and my label. We can get you heard, and blah blah blah. But it's just it's complete spam, and they'd always start out with like, "Oh, I just got done checking out your song," and would have the title of it. Obviously some kind of like
Bot.
pre-programmed bot that could read the titles of whatever tracks you had uploaded to go in and say they listened to it. But sure enough, if you check like your daily stats of who would listen, how many people listened to whatever track that day, nothing would pop up. So they haven't listened to
It's
shit.
always zero.
Yeah.
It was also really bad. I don't know if in like high school English classes, whenever you were like forced to write poetry or whatnot, or write something, and it would get like published in like a school paper or whatnot.
The world's most embarrassing thing, you mean?
Yeah, and then randomly you'd get some kind of crap in the mail saying, "Oh, your work has been included in this national publication. We'd like to sell you this copy of this book that your prose or poetry is going to be featured in. Also, you should sell like 50 copies to all your relatives." So you'd think like, "Oh wow, I'm a published author now." It's like, no, they literally went around to every high school in the country, gathered up all their publications, put everyone's work into it, and are trying to sell it back to you.
Yeah, pretty much. I actually, it's weird. If you ever do get published, a lot of the times these companies will just straight up give you a copy of the book, though. As I found out, so you can game yourself a free English book if you know what you're doing.
God.
Too bad it was for freshmen and I was a senior at the time. That would have been really helpful. But yeah, like you're right. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just straight up spam. It's like
right. They're talent agents, and more often than not, talent agents are worthless.
Yeah, and with these guys, like I was explaining it to you earlier, it's like a franchise. Like if McDonald's sells a franchise to somebody, there's really no risk to them if that franchise fails or succeeds.
Right.
Because
but if it succeeds, they get the money.
Yeah, if it succeeds, they're buying everything from McDonald's. If it fails, well, they'll just open up another McDonald's. But while it's open, they're still going to have to buy everything from McDonald's. So it's like with these guys, they go around and they say to every person they come across, like, "Hey, I saw your videos. You've passed the threshold with your views per video that we're able to offer you this partnership. It will cost us $0 outside of the $20 we have to give to some 15-year-old to make you a shitty computer generated intro." And God, how many of those shitty ones? There are people with like 10 views total who have these amazingly intricate,
super elaborate. Yeah,
it's like, who's doing these? There's a guy on YouTube who sells them. You can buy them from him, and like that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. You have no views, and yet you are purchasing this elaborate computer generated intro for your videos. It's like, did you think very hard about this before you started? Or did you just decide, I'm going to make enough YouTube money, from these tens of hits I'm going to get over the course of my channel, that I will be able to afford this $500 for this intro? It's just absolute insanity. But
it's mind-boggling because, like, a lot of kids now, because of a lot of these, guys on YouTube now, think that YouTube is like a viable career.
Right. I was listening to another podcast the other day that explained that about 47% of all YouTube content is now video games. Like,
wow.
Imagine, of all the stuff that gets uploaded to YouTube, about half of it is video games, and probably growing. And it's just, there are people who see these guys, like, the Woody's gamer tags of the world, and they go, I can fucking do that, and they probably can. It's just that they don't have enough autistic children to actually make them popular.
Oh God.
Go out like a fucking accessory, that kid is.
I gotta give one thing to Woody, and it really pains me, is that, like, the dude knows his product and he knows how to market it. He's got a very good business mind because he knows who his audience is. He knows how to entertain them, and he will squeeze every little bit out of it that he can. So in one sense, he's a really good business person.
Well,
he's
I'm
just
not
a
sure.
horrible content producer.
I'm not sure if I win or if I lose for not knowing any of these people. I mean, I'm basically just here to uh, dispense verbal diarrhea.
No, that's all of
And
us, though.
no,
So,
yeah,
you don't feel bad. I think I sent you a couple links to explain some of it.
yeah,
But for the most part, these people are completely dispensable. As a matter of fact, a guy who used to be one of the top YouTube people, he can't like make money off YouTube anymore and is in the red every month, unless that's
really.
changed. Yeah, this guy Wings of Redemption. I mentioned him earlier in passing, but he used to be like the top Call of Duty or one of the top Call of Duty content guys. And the way he got
Yeah, he was like one of the first ones when Modern Warfare 2 and the whole like YouTube gaming thing first got started.
yeah, so he like was producing videos and doing pretty well. Gets signed to Machinima, which is one of the big content like distributors for YouTube gaming stuff. Who they also have like some really terrible people signed, like Toby Games, and he is like he's run out of his usefulness. He doesn't have stories to tell. He doesn't have any interesting gameplay because he's been playing nothing but Call of Duty every day for 7 years. So you kind
Only
of
so
burn
many
out pretty
360
quickly
no
on that.
scopes you can do.
Yeah. So unless there's like a new corner to hide in on every new map they release, he's not really got a lot of content. And the nature of this stuff is that you basically, to make a living off of this, and Wings of Redemption lives in a double wide. That was what he bought with his YouTube money, and a truck that got stolen, so he bought a new truck. But you look at they
His
have
truck-
these,
I
We've
don't
got a
remember
bright
his
future
truck
ahead of
being
us,
stolen.
boys. Moving on up.
yeah. I bought a double wide, better than the single wide I had. So you know he lives out in the woods and he has like these depression fests out there and all this other stuff, and like they just he assumed, and I think a lot of these guys assumed that they'll just be able to produce the same level of content forever and never have to improve, never have to do anything different. People will just fucking eat it up for years on end. And Three Toes was mentioning to me earlier that he's actually now soliciting gameplay video from other people for him to commentate over.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for him to be doing a commentary over someone else's gameplay, and like I can understand that, you know, if that's your job and you have to put out a video, at least one video every day. For a good while, he was doing 3 videos a day.
Holy
Like,
shit.
yeah, he was playing that much Call of Duty. But I can understand that if it was in a sense of like, hey, I want to showcase this other guy who, you know, otherwise you may not see his stuff, so here I got a video from him, you know, watch this while listening to my commentary. Here's his name, here's his YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. No, most of the time, like, he'll just mention whose it was in passing, and even then, and a lot of those, it's not just him, a lot of the guys are really guilty of that. When they use someone else's content, you know, voluntarily, someone will give it to them for them to show on their channel for exposure. They'll, you know, get their name wrong or only say part of their name. It's like, oh, his name's, you know, such and such with a bunch of numbers behind it. Just check the description. It's down there. It's like, that kid's earning you money. Like, granted,
Yeah.
it's not a lot, but
Yeah, that's the big thing that these guys do now is just like they shit out content. It's the best way to make money on YouTube is just produce, because you only get so much per person who watches these ads and everything, right? And
Right.
so if you can just, and Call of Duty gameplay videos are not difficult to produce. I took I recorded about 3 hours worth on that day I did the Modern Warfare 3 night, right? And within a day I had 3 videos ready to go, and I already uploaded 2 of them. It takes no time at all to do that stuff. And these guys act like it's a fucking act of God that they actually got it on to their YouTube page. Like, oh my god, a new content, holy shit, no one cares. You've literally just played enough games where you cherry-picked enough lobbies that you did well in that you can put it on YouTube. Like, that was the great moment for Call of Duty videos, was Elite coming around. Call of Duty Elite allowed you, similar to Battlelog for Battlefield 3, it lets you go in and see how well each person's doing, what their stats are and everything.
Right.
And early on in Modern Warfare 3, where that launched, somebody went in and grabbed all the numbers. Oh no, sorry, Black Ops. I think it was retroactive, but they grabbed all the numbers of these famous guys and they put them into the thread, and they're all below like the mid-tier goons. Like they're not good players. They just have a personality that keeps them going.
And even if their stats were impressive, you go back and look at I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Elite also tracks your quit percentage.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could always dashboard as well to get around it. But yeah, a lot of those guys, even who have good stats, would kind of fudge it a little by either quitting or dashboarding, not completing the match. And yeah, they're not good players. It is completely just cherry picking good stuff.
Yeah. But that's once again the nature of what they do.
Right.
No one wants to see a video where they get completely destroyed.
Well, I think that even your worst player is going to have a montage moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I think going back to Battlefield 3, I mean, how many times have either of you guys had like oh my god, holy shit, raw!
Yeah.
I just shot down a Venom that crashed into a tank and blew up the C4 around it, which blew up 2 more guys, and like, oh my god, I wish I was recording that. But
yeah, or the time I drove that C4 laden dirt bike into the helicopter and blew it up.
oh my god, that was
My best was on No Shar when I, like twice in a row, I managed to shoot some guy out of the Little Bird with the 320.
Dude, on PC, you get shot out of Little Bird all the time because there are these hyper accurate shitlords with M98s everywhere.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it sucks.
Stay up. But
yeah,
stay higher. That's what you're supposed
to do.
Yeah, so I mean that's just the nature of it, though. You can't record everything, and stuff you do record sometimes isn't the best. But these guys, I mean,
and the commentary isn't even ever about the gameplay anymore. Like when Woody first got started, he kind of carved his niche by like giving people tips because he billed himself as Woody the unexceptional gamer. Like he wasn't that he knew he wasn't that good, so he tried to help people get better. Like it's never about the gameplay anymore. It's just I don't even know why people watch it. It's more like just listening to an 8-minute podcast.
Because he has mailbags.
Mailbag.
Oh God, those.
We need to
fucking
hire
things.
people to send us mail. And by mail, I'm spelling mail MALE.
No, but he has Wife Wednesday. That's not a joke.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, that's seriously a
Yeah,
series
his
he
wife
does.
gets home and like commentates with him. They like talk about stuff.
Arnold, you have to realize this is a guy who live streamed his family watching Netflix.
Yeah, like a continuous series. He would do it like every Friday.
He got a deal with Netflix, I think, was the reason why.
Yeah, he has his own coupon code.
Well, hey, if Netflix is going to pay me money, I'll watch shit with my family, and my kids say some funny shit.
Yeah, but they hump dogs.
Oh,
Let's not go into that stuff.
Okay.
what?
That definitely may have happened on a live stream. There was maybe some dog molestation.
I think I
this.
actually heard about something like that. I remember hearing about the dog being humped or something.
Yeah, let's not get into that now. I'm sure we could do a fucking whole podcast about that, just one incident. But yeah, it's low effort bullshit from them. They do a podcast with Wings and Woody and other people, and it's like the most low effort bullshit I've ever seen in my life. And
It's more low effort than this.
Yeah, like we actually talk about stuff and try to keep like ideas going through the entire thing. Those guys, I watched the one a couple weeks ago where they had, I think it was like a 9 or 10 minute segment of a 30-minute or a hour-long podcast, or 3-hour-long podcast, where they were just talking over each other about completely different things. It was just noise, and I absolutely can't believe it to this day that's like something people watch by the thousands.
Yeah, and I think Woody like pockets all that money, doesn't
Yeah, that was a whole thing. So Arnold, you'll be glad to know that there are people who actually go out and report on the drama that is created around Woody's gamertag and his cohorts. And one of
What?
them is this guy DJ Keemstar, who's also completely useless outside of one thing he did that was kind of decent, which was he explained to Wings of Redemption how Woody's gamertag was essentially stealing money from him by doing a podcast and like taking all the money that came in from the podcast, from the views, from the streams, and all that stuff, and just holding on to it himself, never giving his co-commentators any money.
How? How would? Wait, what? How was he
Because
doing that?
he would post the podcast stream to his YouTube as something you could watch, and it was monetized, and would just keep all the money.
So basically, a blueprint for what you're going to do.
Yeah. Also, he also happens to have like advertisers, which we don't have and probably never will. Although we could start recommending products if we really wanted to, and see if they just
Penetrator,
eventually...
double-ended lubricant.
What was the no?
Wait,
What was the
what?
one you
That
had?
doesn't make-
Three Toes
that doesn't
Fuck
make
Water.
Oh, fuck water! Yeah,
That's, this podcast brought to you
the
by
greatest
Fuck
named sexual lubricant ever created. Although I really would like if it was an energy drink rather than
I
a personal
am
lubricant.
It
actually
looks like
wet
it.
hearing about that.
Please go look it up, dude. It's God,
Wait,
let
this
me-
is a
let
real
me-
thing?
Oh yeah,
It's a real thing. This is a thing he sent me.
Water lube. Let me
Oh my
read. Let me
God.
read you their tagline.
Oh my god! Can
Fuck
we get
water.
a marketing deal with them, please?
Okay, listen to this
let me
tagline. Fuck water. When spit and courage aren't enough. This is an actual product.
This podcast
You-
brought to you by Fuck Water.
You can purchase this product.
Well, you can. I just don't think you can tell people you purchased it. That's probably the bigger issue.
I don't know, man. It'd make a great white elephant gift around Christmas time.
Oh man, I still want to do a decent white elephant gift at some point, and I thought one of the greatest ones you could do is probably like a VCR and a bunch of like homemade wrestling tapes from the 90s or so. I think that'd be a good one.
All the backyard wrestling.
Yes, sure. Like something like that, I think would be a good white elephant gift. I just don't know who I could give that to. Like maybe my parents, but they'd probably think that was a sincere thing because they use a VCR all the time. So I have to figure out who I could give that to who would not take that as either an actual useful gift or offensive. So, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to derail from video games for a minute to tell you another story. This guy I knew in college, he went on a ski trip with some people, and they rented out a condo for the week in Colorado. And he got there, and instead of like helping move stuff in, he went to the TV and found it had a VCR, and just they heard him loudly proclaim, "Oh fuck yes!" And so he disappears out into the car. They think he's going to help move stuff in. Instead, he comes in with a fucking VHS tape and puts it in. It's straight up hardcore porn, and just starts watching it because he was carrying around a fucking VHS tape.
Just until he ran into a VCR somewhere.
Yeah, like in case this place has a VCR, I might need this tape.
Well, I mean, you always got to be prepared, dude.
Yeah, you never know. You never know when you're going to find a VCR that you can sully with your dirty, dirty '90s porno tapes.
Personally, I have my 1970s porn upscaled to VHS.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, you know, it comes with some artifacting, so I try to avoid that when I can.
Well, I mean,
you know, when you upscale this stuff, it doesn't look the best. You really have to get with the remasters. Like it starts to look like they pixelated it, and you know they didn't
Oh,
pixelate
God.
it. So
Is that bush or pixelation?
if I watch this 50 more times, I might figure it out. So yeah, have you guys, you know, the VHS conversation that I brought us into reminded me of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon sold 1 million units, and it's very possible that they're going to make more games or more expansions that are absolutely fucking nuts like that. Have either of you guys played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon?
Yes,
No.
yes, but I didn't play it much past the first hour because that's right about when I got my PC, and I haven't really been back to plebeian land.
Oh, yes. Dirty console plebes.
Hmm.
Yes. I made that joke on Reddit one time. This guy was talking about how great his PC was and how it was going to be way better than even the Xbox One or PS4. And I go, let's laugh at the dirty console plebes. And I got downvoted to oblivion. So I can't make those jokes. Anyways, yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. I heard it runs better than Far Cry 3 on the Xbox 360, like the base game. It's a standalone thing, so if you have $15 or $10 or whatever it is now, you can just pick it up off. It's only download right now, but whatever.
Yeah, I really enjoyed what I played of it. It's funny. It's got everything good about the '80s, and I say good in quotation marks.
Yeah.
What's the premise of it?
Someone took a lot of acid at Ubisoft. Okay, so when
You're Sergeant Rex Power Cold.
there you go, perfect.
And it's the guy who voices Rex Power Cold is the guy who was the good guy in Terminator.
Michael Biehn.
He's
Yeah.
the one who banged Sarah Connor and made John Connor.
Kyle Reese.
Yeah, Kyle, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
that's
he's
the guy that voices him.
He's putting on
And-
like this crazy raspy '80s action movie voice,
Yeah,
which is just fantastic. And he went all in on it. But yeah, the whole idea behind Blood Dragon was they wanted to make. Go look at the YouTube videos that they made to advertise the game. They announced it on April 1st, and everyone thought it was some sort of crazy April Fool's Day joke. And then they kept releasing trailers and put a release date out, and people realized, oh no, they're quite serious about this insane game they told us about. So it's got music by Power Glove, and if you don't know who that is, he does basically 80s music, 80s action movie music, and like all electronic stuff and everything. And Rex Power Colt, you're sent in to stop your former commander who is taken over this island of cyborgs with the entire Delta Force there. And there happen to be giant dragons everywhere that fire lasers from their eyeballs. And
Wow.
blood dragons.
he's using their blood to create a super weapon of some nature. And you have to stop him by going around this island, taking over capture points, and doing like a 3-hour main mission. But you can upgrade. There's like an upgrade path and all this other stuff. But it's like the most 80s thing outside of the 80s themselves.
Yeah, everything is like neon and just it looks like Cher vomited over everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's all the same AI, a lot of the same monster animals from Far Cry 3, the base game, but everything's cyber. So there's cyber sharks, there's cyber tigers, there's cyber cassoways. Everything's a cyber something, right?
Shameless
And
reskins.
You have your cyber bow, and you go around blowing stuff up, taking over bases. But the blood dragons are like mini boss encounters. You can completely avoid them if you want to by crouch walking away. But if you rile them up, you can like send them after enemies and stuff like that by throwing hearts, which you
Yeah.
rip out of the chests of your enemies.
Pretty great game. Go get it.
All right then.
If I can't sell you on it yet, there's actually a guy doing a Let's Play of it right now, blind, in the Let's Play subforum. If you're interested in seeing what that looks like, I suggest taking a look there.
Yeah, I'm sure it at least sounds entertaining. Even if I don't play it, I'd probably like to watch it.
Yeah, it's he's doing a pretty good job. He found explosives. He found the best upgrade early in the game because you have the Cobra sniper rifle, which is really just the Cobra assault cannon from RoboCop, and you can get explosive rounds for it. And they're not like little explosives or something like that. These are like absolutely huge, like C4 was fired out of this gun explosives. And so he found that in like video 3 or 4, and yeah, it's entertaining. Just go watch that.
Speaking of RoboCop, can we at least talk a little bit about the trailers for the new RoboCop movie?
Well, I didn't
Wait, what?
watch that out of principle, so you can explain it.
Okay, all right. when I saw that there were trailers for a new RoboCop movie, I initially got like furious, like really. I was like, "Oh my god, how the fuck are they remaking RoboCop?" Then watching it, like it might be pretty good.
No.
Like no, all right, it's okay. So looking back, the original RoboCop movie was awful.
What? No,
Like
no.
you
get
can
out.
no
You're off the
you can
podcast.
enjoy it. You can enjoy it for what it is, but it's still like awful.
You need to be careful where you're treading here.
Yeah.
In case you didn't notice my name is possibly named after one of the big '80s, early '90s movie.
This is a severe check yourself before you wreck yourself situation here, Three Toes.
You need to be very careful where you're going to be walking right now.
All right. So I thoroughly enjoyed the original RoboCop, but if you watch it again, yeah, I still enjoy it. But I mean, the story's shitty. Like the acting's really shitty. The effects for the time were good. It's got a great amount of gore. I'll give it that. But the new one looks like it's going to have all of that. Like it looks like
Bad acting. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's part of why it was good. It's the epitome of '80s camp and everything awesome.
I know, and it looks like they
3
might try and do that again.
Japanese robot whatever thing.
That movie kind of was bad, actually.
That was wonderful.
That movie was kind of bad.
Oh, but it was good bad. I mean, it really, I don't know.
Just
So
watch the trailer. It looks like it'll be a good action movie. That's all I'm saying. It's not going to shit all... It doesn't look like it's going to shit on the original RoboCop. I'll put it that way.
Well, to be fair, the original RoboCop is basically the future of Detroit.
Current Detroit.
Well, yeah.
Set in current Detroit now.
It pretty much is. And I wonder if they're also going to use it as a way to market the new Ford Taurus again this time around.
Yes, please. Actually, times have changed enough. They'll probably use it to market a gun.
And they altered it a little bit. Like they altered the way that he got injured and had to become RoboCop. They altered the whole role of not the whole role of like OCP, but
you down with OCP?
Yeah. But I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's in it. Ed 209 looks badass. I'll tell you that. But no, I think it. I mean, obviously you're gonna have people who hate it right off the bat because it's yet another great '80s action movie that they're trying to remake. But I don't know. I'll watch it.
I mean, I just Googled new RoboCop trailer, and honestly, he doesn't look very beefy. There's not enough beef in this RoboCop.
Who, RoboCop?
At a loss for words on that, huh?
No homo?
No homo.
I think they made him left-handed too, from what I saw with the trailer, and that kind of threw me off. Like his Auto 9 came out of the left side.
Unless that's in a mirror.
There might be they love to use mirror shots and stuff like that for these things, so it's very possible.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. Ever since they started showing like production stills and shots of the RoboCop armor that's like all black, it's like, of course. I wonder if someone wrote this in the mid '90s when that shit was everywhere.
That's for only part of the movie.
Dark.
Like apparently, at one point in the movie, he's all black, and then at another point, like from what I gathered from the trailer, he starts out as being like completely programmed, like no real ability to make his own decisions, and then he overrides his programming. When he figures out that OCP's programmed him to do bad stuff and subdue the good citizens of future Detroit.
All two of them.
And then he becomes Silver after that, which is
You're
cheesy as fuck. Yeah.
Did you go and get some spray paint at the local Lowe's and just be like, I'll fix this?
He went in for a good sandblasting.
That's actually his fourth prime directive. That you must be OCP black.
Yeah.
And that's actually a pivotal moment in the movie.
I'm going to shop
he goes
locally.
Down to Ace Hardware and get some Rust-Oleum silver.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see that situation where he's like, I only buy organic now. He's like, yeah, okay.
And in the trailer, he does say the whole like "dead or alive, you're coming with me" line.
Does he say your move creep?
No, I didn't hear that. But I am kind of mad they didn't use the tagline "part man, part machine, all cop."
They should have used the tagline "bitches leave." That would have been much better.
They should have somehow involved twerking.
At one point, RoboCop twerks. It's okay.
Yep. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And
the
also,
number of people.
also speaking of horrible yet still entertaining action movies, I saw Elysium recently.
Horrible yet entertaining. I
Yeah.
assume from your review here.
Yeah, it's a good action movie, and it's a lot gorier than I thought it was going to be. Like, they don't prepare you for that at all. Like, you straight up watch a dude get his face blown off and then reconstructed by a magic future computer. But the bad guys are like comically bad. Like, you cannot fathom someone so inherently evil that it just makes it ridiculous. It's like if Ann Coulter had her way of shaping society and Earth.
Okay. So
Ann Coulter
liberals
like
are going around killing babies with forks?
Yep.
Well, no, it's all the rich people live up on the space station orbiting Earth because Earth's gone to shit, and all the poors live back on Earth and
got
have to
Xboxes.
suffer. Yeah. And it's got all this, quote unquote subtle, all these subtleties to draw you into that stuff. Like the rich people on the space station speak French while everyone on Earth speaks Spanish. Like it's just such like
What?
overtly, yeah. It's just such like overtly. It's so evil that it's not believable.
The French are evil. That's how we know.
But
Like that was supposed to be some subtle nod to socioeconomic differences in the world.
Hollywood's version of a subtle nod is about as subtle as a sledgehammer to the forehead. Look at this. It's Stan Lee. It's subtle.
Yeah, but no, I mean it was a good. I mean the action was great. It's obviously it's the same guy who did District 9, so it's got some really good like sci-fi aspects. But don't go in there expecting like some grand commentary on socioeconomics.
Yeah. Speaking of things I've watched recently, we started watching Breaking Bad, and so now I'm better than everyone else. So that's good news, right?
Yep.
I cut my cable like a few weeks ago, and now I'm watching Breaking Bad. So I am now better than everyone else. And we're at that point where it's like no one's turned on our TV for 3 months. Let's just kill the cable.
No.
So, real quick, Arnold, I just wanted to ask you this one publicly. Are you going to get rid of your Xbox Live Gold subscription soon?
I'm probably not going to renew it, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's some... I'm waiting for both consoles to come out. And I'll decide from there if they're worth getting. But, I mean, I've been leaning PS4 for a while.
Yeah.
And, I mean, all my friends are on Xbox and have been for years, but... I mean, I've got a PC.
Yeah, why do I need this shit?
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, if my kids really, really want something, we'll see.
They can get a Wii U and deal with it.
Yeah.
All right, well...
I mean, I just can't see paying that much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same reason I killed my subscription to cable. Was like, there's no reason for me to keep it. I'm probably going to let my Xbox Live subscription lapse in April when that comes up. But we've actually been doing this for quite a while, and I think we're pretty much ready to go, right, guys? You feel like we've covered everything you wanted to cover today?
Oh,
I don't know,
ready to
man.
go all over.
Painkiller already goes for 4 hours. We haven't even had half that yet. So
Yeah, all right. Well, let's keep
We
going.
got big shoes to fill, gentlemen.
We're gonna truck through this, even if I have to start saying ridiculous things to keep conversations going.
we're in it
I've
for a
got the
long
phone
haul
book
here.
here.
Yeah. Let's just brew some
Harry
coffee.
Bonner.
What's that, Arnold?
I've got the phone book, and I'm going to read names out of it.
Oh, we're gonna filibuster our podcast. Fantastic.
Yes.
But I think that's gonna be it. If you guys are ready.
Yep.
Oh, I was born ready.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Arnold, any final words?
Words.
Fantastic. I'm glad you were a third grader. Three Toes?
I'd just like to quote Dick Cheney real quick and tell you to go fuck yourself.